What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, and the holidays are right around the corner. If you're thinking of picking one of these two keyboards up, but you're thinking about what you should ask Santa for Christmas, I'm going to do a little comparison for you guys and show you the differences by popular demand between the Corsair Gaming K70 keyboard and the newly released Corsair Strafe RGB gaming keyboard. Now I've done full in-depth reviews of each one, so it's not going to be a review. I'm just going to go over the differences between the two keyboards because in my reviews for both, people have asked constantly for me to compare them so they can figure out which one to buy. So if you're looking to pick a new keyboard up and it's between one of these two and you just don't know which one you want, I'm going to help you out. Now I'm going to start off with the Corsair Gaming K70, which I have right here in front of me. It came out around a year ago, and it was the first RGB peripheral that really took the market by storm, and it's just exploded ever since. And don't be alarmed, yes, I do have my very own custom white keycaps on top of them, so don't think it's a different keyboard, it's the same one, just with white keycaps. But starting off with the K70, going over its features, it looks very nice and professional. It's a very solid keyboard, and that's because it is made of brushed aluminum and anodized metal. So it looks very, very nice, really sets it apart from other plastic keyboards on the market. One of the features that sets this apart from the Strafe RGB is its dedicated media key section. They have their very own volume rocker, which is very convenient if you're listening to music or you just want to adjust your game volume on the fly. And below that are all your media keys where you have your pause, stop, forward, rewind. It's just really convenient to have them right there at the press of a button. Underneath the keycaps, you'll find a crystal shell, which is where the Cherry MX switch is housed, along with the LED lights inside. This is going to help prevent any ESD or burnout of your LED lights, so it's great for its longevity. Now switching over to the Strafe RGB for comparison, it is made entirely of plastic, but it still feels very solid and sturdy. It does not feel like a cheap plastic, and it has some weight to it. On this keyboard, you do not have a dedicated media key section, which is kind of a bummer, but they make up for it in two very important areas. Behind the keyboard, where the USB cable is located, you will find one very important thing, and that's the addition of a USB pass-through. I absolutely love this on keyboards. I think it's a must-have, and it's great for a lot of reasons. You can do things like plug in, a USB hard drive, a little flash drive, or even like I did, I have my mouse plugged in there to prevent any unnecessary cables or clutter on my desk. So I have it, just plugged into the back of the keyboard, and it saves a lot of space. It looks a lot nicer on my desktop. That's one of the main things that I really wish the K70 had, but unfortunately it doesn't, even though the older Vengeance series had a USB on there. And another key feature of the Strafe RGB is this white base plate underneath all the keys. And this is huge for someone who loves RGB peripherals. And the main thing it does is going to accentuate the colors and the RGB lights as it shines up through the keycaps and back down on this white base plate, making them appear a lot brighter and the colors more saturated and vivid. It's one of my big, kind of downfalls when I was comparing the K70 last year to the Razer Black Widow Chroma keyboard, which did have that white base plate, and it just made the colors look a lot brighter. So I'm very happy the Strafe RGB adopted that and now has it on this keyboard. And actually back in spring, I made a video where I cut out very thin strips of white paper and put them between the K70 keys just to make my own makeshift backdrop. So I'm really happy they included that here. And speaking of the LEDs, the lights on the Strafe RGB do shine a lot brighter, much noticeably brighter than the K70. I don't know if they used different lights when they were making the keyboard, or if it's just something different in the whole construction process, but the lights are in fact brighter and the colors shine a lot more clearly. And that's actually why, like I alluded to earlier, I have the white keycaps on my K70, because the RGB lights are going to shine through. Since white is a much brighter color than a black keycap, it's going to illuminate the colors of the keycap a little bit more to make it seem brighter. And lastly, some of the differences, we obviously have a different logo because they went through rebranding process. So we have their newer sales logo on the top left of the keyboard on the Strafe RGB. You can change the effects and the color of the logo because it's an actual LED light inside. I think that's really cool. And you have just the nice Corsair fonts on the top right hand of the keyboard. Next up is a key switch sound test between the two. The Strafe RGB is available in red and brown Cherry MX switches for $149.99, with a silent switch option available for $159.99. That's compared to the K70 RGB's price point of $169.99, with keys in Cherry MX blue, brown, and red. Now, while it is more expensive, both keyboards can be purchased for cheaper on various websites like Best Buy, Newegg, Amazon, and other third-party sellers. Since the Cherry MX silent switch is rather new, it might be a deciding factor in what keyboard to get. I'll do a key test so you can see and hear the difference between the silent switches versus red switches. Also, before we start to wind down to my final notes and my opinions, I just wanted to mention that both keyboards come with optional detachable wrist rest, which is a nice addition to put less strain or force on your wrist when typing, but the Strafe RGB comes with a textured key set for FPS and mobile players, as well as a key puller. A few more things to mention before we wrap this up. The main big difference between the two is the K70's construction versus, I think, the Strafe RGB's overall performance. You're getting much brighter lights on the Strafe RGB. The colors and the effects transition a lot nicer and smoother compared to the K70. And if you're buying a keyboard for the RGB lights, then the Strafe is hands down your best option. It has a USB pass-through, which I think is huge and a great feature for keyboards. But on the other hand, you have a much more solid and professional looking keyboard in the K70 with its brushed aluminum. Dedicated media keys are very nice. But the one downfall about the K70, other than the lights not being as bright and as smooth as the Strafe RGB, is actually the brushed aluminum and keeping that clean. Even though it looks a lot nicer than just a plastic keyboard, keeping brushed aluminum clean is very, very difficult because numerous times just dust particles and whatever particles in the air will get between the very fine brushed aluminum lines in its finish, and it just makes it very, very difficult to clean and keep clean. And you will just constantly find if you run your finger throughout any part of the brushed aluminum, you'll probably get some dust on your finger. So while it looks nicer, definitely harder to maintain its nice appearance. Alright guys, it's going to wrap it up now for my comparison between the Corsair Gaming K70 RGB keyboard and the Corsair Strafe RGB keyboard. Hope it helped you out, and if you're looking to pick one of them up, I hope this video helped you make a better purchase decision for the upcoming holidays, or just if you're looking to pick one of them up. Hope this video helped you out, and like I said, I did dedicated reviews for each one, very in-depth. So if you want to check their individual reviews, I will put the links to them down below so you can check it out. If you liked the video and it helped you out, please give it a thumbs up to show your support. If you have any questions, you can comment down below or follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. You can hit me up on there. And last, if you haven't already, if you love tech stuff, if you love reviews, comparisons, you're not going to want to miss some of my upcoming videos, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. I'm Random Frank P. Have a good day.